amigos, amigos.
So what's good, C-Rod Sports fam? Right, we're right here. It's Thursday, November 21st, and we are getting ready for the Liga MX playoffs. So La Liguilla starts today with the play-in games. I know it's been just like the NBA. Liga MX has been trying to fix the problems that the solution is easy: bring back promotion and relegation. But they don't want to do that. They want to fix the problems with adding like long playoffs and the play-in now. And I think that's about to die. I think this is the last season that they have a play in. So I can say that it wasn't such a big thing. I don't think anyone tuned in. And I'll tell you guys my theory on why these two teams are in the play in. I may be wrong. They probably just had a bad season full of injuries. But it's just a theory that these two teams are in the play in and the ratings may go up for these two games. All right. So La Liguilla starts today. All right. There is 12 teams that qualified. 8 qualified directly to the Liguilla, which are the playoffs, the Mexican Soccer League playoffs, Liga MX playoffs, right? So they qualified. They're in quarterfinals already. There's been a few that are already set, and from the play-in, we decide. Excuse me, there's not 8 teams. There's 6 teams already qualified, and the play-in brings the last 2 teams, the 7th and 8th team. So that's why there's like 12 teams in total. I think those that watch basketball, that watch the NBA, know how the play-in works, right? If We'll get to it. Let's get to it. Let's just show you um, the list of teams that are going to be participating. And here we go. Here's the list of teams that are participating in the play-in for and La Liguilla for this year. All right, so we have the qualified teams, which are in green. So we see Cruz Azul is in there, Toluca's in there, it's in second place, Tigres in third, Pumas in fourth, Monterrey fifth, and San Luis in sixth. And then these last 4 teams, they are the teams that qualify to the play-in. So we have Tijuana in 7th, America in 8th, Chivas in 9th, and Atlas in 10th. So these are the 4 teams that will battle out the 7 and 8 spots. All right, so simple as I was saying, if you watch basketball, if you watch the NBA, you know their playoff format, the play-in, and for them, it's worked really well. I think ratings have been really up. The games have been tight and close and exciting. So that makes sense. It works for basketball, but for soccer, especially outside of the United States, I don't think that's going to work. So Tijuana, America, whoever wins this game moves on, and they're the 7th seed. And the loser will play the winner of Chivas and Atlas. All right. So we're going to do my prediction for the Liga MX playoffs. And yeah, you can see I am wearing a Chivas sweater. I have a Chivas flag right behind me. I am a Chivas fan. And I can just lie to you and tell you that Chivas may win, or not may, is going to win the whole entire thing. But I can't be biased. I have to be honest, and I have to be true, and I have to show you guys that my team is not that great. That we suck, and we played today. All right. Hopefully they win. That I want them to win, right? So we'll start. My prediction, we'll start with the first play-in game, which is Tijuana and America. And I feel like, America has had a down season. They've dealt with so many injuries, and they're right here in the play-in alongside Chivas. And I was going to tell you guys my theory. It's so weird that like 2 seasons I think this is the 3rd season that they do the play-in. So in the first 2, barely anyone tuned in to watch the play-in game. I don't think anyone's gonna say that Thursday night and be like, oh yeah, let's watch the play-in games for Liga MX, right? So my theory is that America and Chivas just had a bad season to be in the play-in and bring the ratings up, and that be an excuse for the Liga MX uh, front office or like the Mexican Federation to say, oh no, ratings are really good for the play-in, and just the excuse for this year Chivas and America, right? But my prediction for the America and Tijuana game, I got America winning this game, and after what was like a down season for them, dealing with so many injuries, I think they're getting their best players back. And I don't think there's a team from the play-in that has a better shot at winning Liga MX than Club America. And yeah, they're getting all their great players back. I mean, they have, I think Sendejas came back. Diego Valdez, though he had a bad season, he is dealing with injury. He's such a key piece to America's midfield. I mean, one of the biggest pieces on why they won back-to-back championships this past year, right? So I think America wins this game, and Tijuana is going down to play the winner of El Clásico Tapatio, right? And El Clásico Tapatio, the ratings are going to be up for this game too because it's Chivas, it's Atlas, it's a derby. These two hate each other. They're from the same city. I'm a Chivas fan, right? I don't like Atlas. I dislike them. I hate them, right? So uh, they played this season. They played at Estadio Akron, where it's taking place, and Atlas got the best of them. Actually, gave Chivas their first loss at home. They only lost 2 games at home, so that was the first one. And it was when Chivas was dealing with this Fernando Gago situation before he left to Boca Juniors. So I think Chivas is going to get revenge, and they're going to move on. They're going to beat Atlas. There is the history that Chivas has the upper hand against Atlas in elimination games, mostly in the playoffs. So I think Chivas is going to beat Atlas. Atlas is going to get disqualified. They're knocked out, and we have the second play-in match all set. So Tijuana and Chivas, they'll go head to head in the second play-in or third play-in round, second round of the play-in, and to decide who's going to be the number 8 seed, right? So they played earlier this year. I think it was July 12th. They played. I know it was the day before my sister's birthday, and Tijuana just came out and destroyed Chivas. Now, was Tijuana better that game on the score? It was because Chivas actually had Tijuana against their backs most of the time, but 4 defensive mistakes led Tijuana to beat Chivas in that game. Chivas had a few goals right there, but they just took advantage of Chivas' defensive mistakes in that game. So they put 4 past us. Chivas really struggles playing in Tijuana. Historically, they don't do well, and knowing that our team is full of princesses that complain about everything, I think Tijuana is going to beat my team. I think they're going to beat us in the second round of the play-in. I'm happy. I would be happy. This season, I've really been pissed at my team. So Tijuana is moving on. They'll take the 8th seed, and this is how the rest of the liguilla will look like. So we have Cruz Azul against Tijuana, number 1 against number 8. Then Toluca, America, number 2 against number 7. Tigres and San Luis, number 3 and number 6. Pumas and Monterrey, number 4 and number 5. So these are the teams that I have in the quarterfinals. So let's start with the first one. We have Cruz Azul and Tijuana. Well, let's see. This game is going to be fun for Cruz Azul. Really fun for Cruz Azul. I don't think Tijuana is that strong to hold Cruz Azul to 0 goals in 2 legs. And they could probably get a draw in the first leg. But once they go back to Ciudad de Deportes, I think Cruz Azul is going to show why they've been so good under Anselmi. And they're going to knock out Tijuana. So Cruz Azul will move on, and they'll be in the semifinals. Then we have Toluca and America. Well, this series was really fun, actually. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So in the past few years, we've seen America knock out Toluca. They would draw the first leg, and then America would just completely kick their butts. I think the last time they faced each other, Toluca knocked them out. It was such a close game where in the second leg, America was trailing 2-1, and they only needed to tie the game to move on to the next round. They got a last-minute goal, but it was overturned by VAR because Henry Martin's leg was slightly offside. So Toluca went on to the final. They got their butts kicked against Pachuca. It was 2022, right? And these two teams, they have a lot of history too. I mean, these used to be so exciting games where Saturnino Cardoso would like score bangers all the time with Ciña. America will like respond with Cuauhtemoc, and all those games were fun. And I think that rivalry is coming back. Toluca beat America in the last day of Liga MX matches, like the last week of the matches, and they killed them 4-1. So how would it look? I think the first leg they're they're gonna draw. It's gonna be a hard fought draw. And the second leg, I think Toluca is going to get the best of them slightly. I don't think they're gonna. It's not gonna be like 4-1. I think America is going to fix those mistakes, but Toluca is knocking out America. They'll be in the semifinals. I think Toluca is just too much. Paulinho has been really great. He actually won the Golden Boot. Canelo Angulo has been playing spectacular. Alexis Vega, without the pressure from playing in Chivas, looks just better. So I think Toluca is going to move on. Then we move on to Tigres and San Luis. That's going to be an interesting game. San Luis really surprised everyone, making it straight to the Liguilla as the sixth seed. Right? They barely made it, but they're there. They're in La Liguilla. So they've had a surprising season. The brothers, the little brother of Atletico de Madrid, and Tigres. Tigres is just eh, that this past decade was all about Tigres. The 2010s, Guignac, the super team they had with Edu Vargas, Ender Valencia. Um, you put Ismael Sosa in the picture too. Dueñas, who saved them in the final against America in 2016. I think they've been great the past decade, and slowly that dynasty that they built is dying. It just like any dynasty will die eventually, right? So Guignac, he's still putting up great numbers. Not the numbers that he used to put up, but he's still a reliable piece. And this season, it was quite weird because they went through bad slumps under Veljko Paunovic, former Chivas head coach, and they haven't had much production from their superstar signing, Uriel Antuna. That was like their superstar signing. So, you know, I think Tigres is going to win. I've been talking like kind of bad about them, but they're going to win this game. They're going to win this series because I just mentioned Guignac. He's so reliable, and they do have other players that kind of hide away. They don't do as much like Diego Lainez, Uriel Antuna, Ociel Herrera, but they show up. They're gonna show up. So I think Tigres is going to win. San Luis, they're not that strong to hold this Tigres team down to no goals or to a draw and stuff. So I think Tigres is just the stronger team and they're moving on. All right. Next series, Pumas and Monterrey. This is going to be a fun one too. Pumas and Monterrey. Well, Pumas has been, they've shown sparks of being a great team. Um, they're such an unlucky team. They haven't won anything since like what 2011, 2012. They've made a few finals. They've lost them all, but they're building the team. I think Chino Huerta is helping them a lot. Same as Alexis Vega. Chino Huerta not playing under the pressure of Chivas fans. It looks great. They have Memo Martinez. Is a big piece in the attack. Funes Mori, whenever he wants to be a good piece, he can show up, right? And they they have a nice squad, right? To win it all, I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see if I pick them to win it all. Monterrey, they're a team. We'll put them like this, and I know they just won the World Series, but I have their banners. I'm a Dodger fan as well, but they're just like the Dodgers, right? They put up great teams. They stack their team with like great players, right? Canales is there. He's been like their main guy. They've tried to copy what Tigres did with like bringing in a French player. Did not work, but They have Sergio Canales. Uh, they have a decent attack, to say, right? They have a good team. They have a good team, but when it comes to playing in the big moments in the playoffs, I think this Monterrey team just fades away. They just don't show up. Tecatito was brought in like a few seasons ago as their superstar player. He's just there for vacation. He doesn't care, I think. And so Monterrey, when the lights are bright, they just don't do anything. They, you can bring any coach to this Monterrey team, and I think their Liguilla struggles are going to continue. They're going to choke again, and they're going to lose to Pumas, and Pumas is in the semifinals. All right. Now we have Cruz Azul and Pumas. Um, a clásico to say. I mean, they're both from the same city. I don't think it has a name. So Pumas is good. Cruz Azul is just better. I think when they go at it in the semifinals, I think Cruz Azul under Anselmi is just going to show why they've been really good. And Pumas can be good to defeat, teams like Tigres, San Luis, America, Monterrey, but I don't think they have that power and the defensive strength to stop Anselmi's attack. So I think Cruz Azul is moving on to the final. It's just simple. Cruz Azul has been the best team all season long, and I think they're just gonna show they're gonna prove they're gonna be in the final. They're gonna prove why they're so good, right? And then we go to this one. I think this Toluca and Tigres is gonna be a fun matchup too. And I was just talking about Tigres and their sort of struggles in the regular season, right? They were able to get some victories, but it, um, they were like games that they didn't deserve to win. They just got last minute winners. They had like a few of them against Juarez. I think they had one against San Luis. They struggled too. They've struggled really bad under Velko Panovic. And I was just saying that they have players like Diego Lainez, Osiel Herrera, Uriel Antuna that just don't bring much to the attack. And on the other side, as I was mentioning about Toluca, I mean, we have a Canelo Angulo that's on fire, Paulinho, who's the Golden Boot winner, Alexis Vega, who's playing out of his mind in Toluca, right? I think the big players from Toluca are going to show up. They're going to show up in this series, and they're going to knock out Tigres, and they'll be in the final. So the final, this is going to be an exciting game because it's the number one and the number two seeds, right? We have Cruz Azul, who in 2021 broke the curse that they hadn't won in like 23 years, right? And they hadn't won at home. Specifically, La Ciudad de los Deportes, the Estadio Azul, right? They had to move out to win the championship at the Estadio Azteca, where most of the trophies came, right? But they went through a bad drought, and we put bad drought like 20 years. It's not that bad in like regular sports, unless you put into picture that Liga MX has 2 seasons per year. So you can do the math. I mean, let's do it real quick. I think it was like 23 years without them winning a championship, right? So 23 times 2, that's like 46 seasons, right? That they hadn't won a championship, right? So like 46 years, that's a lot, but it was just 23. But 46 seasons, that's quite a lot. So they had a bad drought. They've made finals. They've lost them. They come back from losing a final too against the team they always lose to, Club America, right? So they have that chip in their shoulder that they're gonna play, and they want to win the trophy so bad after what happened last season. They were so good that they just couldn't finish the job. Well, the other side, Toluca, they're also playing with a chip on their shoulder because they haven't won, I think, since 2010. They haven't won a championship since 2010. It's been like a good I think it's been 14 years, right? So that's like what, 28 seasons that they haven't won a trophy, and they've made finals. They've made finals. They've lost to Tijuana at home. They lost to Santos at home. They played a CONCACAF Champions League final against this same Cruz Azul team, and they lost that too. They just been a team that made it to the final and just couldn't finish the job. All right, so we have two teams that are known for making finals and not finishing the job, and one team has to finish the job. And I think the one team that's going to get that chip out of their shoulder is going to be Cruz Azul. I think Cruz Azul is just going to show why they're good. Under Anselmi, his second season, they're going to make another final, but this time they're actually going to win the trophy. I think Anselmi is going to manage the team right. You know, last season they made it to the final. First season, he was getting to know the league, and I think now that he knows the league, now that he knows how it's played, I think his team, Cruz Azul, is going to win the trophy. They're going to get revenge from last season not being able to win. Right? They're still mad about the penalty that America got in the final, but this year it's their year. I think they're gonna win it. They're gonna win their second trophy in the 2020s, and you know they've built such a good squad for them to not win it all. They're just a good team under Anselmi. They've been passing over teams. They've been showing the whole entire league to not mess with them. I think they got the record in points. What was it, like 43, 42 points? Um, that's a record in 17 games. To get 43 points in like 17 games, that's impressive. So they've shown that they're the better team. While Toluca, it's going to be the same story. Oh, I forgot to mention, they played in 2022. They got their butts kicked. So again, I think Toluca is going to be there. But again, they're not going to finish the job. They're just going to be another Dodger team. We have the two Dodgers too right here. So um, I think Toluca doesn't finish the job. I think Cruz Azul does finish the job. And they're going to win their 10th title in Liga MX history, right? So those are my predictions. My could be so wrong predictions. Anything can happen in the playoffs, right? A team can get kicked out in the first round. Um, so we'll find out. We'll find out if my predictions were correct, and we'll come back after the Liguilla ends, after we have the champion, and we'll see how my predictions looked out and compare them. I could be right. I feel really confident picking Cruz Azul. They just been the better team, and I've glazed them a lot. So I'll just stop. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Cruz Azul is gonna win it, or who's gonna take it? You can also put Toluca winning it or America. I've said America is the best team in the play-in to have a shot to winning it all. Right. So let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter under crod_sports, and make sure you subscribe right here. Turn on your notification bell. We do live play-by-play games. You know, any sports that you like me to commentate, we'll do that. I do soccer, baseball. Excuse me, not football, not soccer, right? So we do those sports. If you want me to do like different games to like do play-by-play or just a watch along, let me know in the comments and let me know what you think about my prediction. Let me know your predictions. Who's gonna win it all? And we'll see you next time.